Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome back to a new stream. Today we will continue where we left off yesterday with the floating, hovering, whatever you want to call it, forest. And as we explored it, we decided that we didn't really want it to be actually floating. The wrong file. Doesn't really matter because it is all one layer, so it doesn't really matter which one I open. Ooh, that's a reference. We could use it later. There we go. So yeah, we sort of quickly tried to figure some stuff out how we wanted to do it. If we wanted to go with sort of the traditional fantasy way where it is actually floating in the sky. Decided against that because it feels so generic, as in generic fantasy. So we decided to explore the idea of pillars or a sort of a hanging, like a bridge, and we created some sketches. And we sort of found this idea with a really big sort of pillar in the middle, and the pillar sort of double functions as a city, which we sketched here, and it's hollow in the middle. So that's what we're gonna try to do now. We may try to explore this hanging stuff later as well, but for now we're gonna focus on the pillar one. So I'm gonna open a new file. I think I'm just gonna go with A4 again. This time I'm probably going for the portrait setting, and I kind of want to grab this and bring it over there. Go. So we're gonna bring the sketches in here, and then we're gonna refine those. I think we're gonna do 3, 4, probably 3. Let's see. We don't really that one. I think I want. I'm not sure. I think I want to combine this one here in the middle and this one at the top. We definitely want something like this, but we want to adjust the perspective a little bit. And I think I'm going for this one, for the one where you look down in the. I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna go and this one bigger as well. Go. And the same goes for this one. Try to make them as probably as big as possible. Sort of delete the here. I think we can lower this one a little bit. Make it a tiny bit larger. Same goes for this one. There we go. Alright, so now we have 4 very rough sketches here. And I want to put them all on a layer. You could name the layer rough sketch. Not really necessary, probably. We could try. One thing I might do is sort of try and work on. Shoot, grab the right color. try to sort of work on this one and see how this works, because currently I haven't really figured it out yet. But we also might do that while we refine it. Not sure I'm gonna go about the middle here. I want to have a sort of a theater down there, or sort of a city square or whatever. Let's make it sketch number 3. Yeah, I think it is time to refine the sketches. The problem is, I'm not sure whether I should just go straight in the sketch that I have, or if I should. Let's try to start with a new layer. Put the sketches on a low opacity. Lock this layer, and then go in here and grab a slightly bigger brush and start working with that. I probably should create a frame. Something like this. Let's not do that. Let's this. Something like that. So we don't have to worry about the borders anymore. Let's crop the image. There we go. So now we have a nice little canvas to work with. Alright, I'm quite tired. I'm a little bit rusty, so not sure how long this is gonna take and how well it's gonna be done, but just gonna start, and we're gonna try to do our best to make it look cool. Good. I think I really want this to resemble sort of tree. So quite gnarly. Should have the idea that there is bark and stuff like that going on. I also thought about maybe making the roots go sort of around the tree, so that the roots form a natural barrier for the city, almost like a wall. So they wouldn't have to build a wall, but they build it sort of the same as they did with the tree, as a sort of a natural a natural wall. I think I'm just gonna build the tree first. I'm not sure if I'm gonna put the one in the background. I think I will, because maybe it's good to sort of make it different cities, so that there are 2 of them. And yeah, there isn't really that much refining to do for this one, I guess. Because especially the one in the middle. This is sort of more of like an establishing shot to see how big this thing actually is. And then this is more of a This is a close-up, so you can close-up is more for scale. Well, they both work together, sort of, to establish the scale. Probably the best way to put it. I think maybe I should add more. I shouldn't make them too thick, because I don't want them to look like glorified mushrooms, anything like that. I really want a jungle to grow up here. We may be able to do just that. And yeah, we should sort of figure out the height of these things. I'm still not too happy with the top one. Maybe if we add some I don't know. We'll see. First, let's go with let's start to work on this one, because this is sort of the one that's really that really has to sell the scale of this thing. I kind of want to have these hanging houses as well, so hanging from the ceiling, or whatever you want to call it, from the rocks there. So yeah, this is the end of the, or the underside, or where the tree sort of stops. So it's still we're gonna still work with quite a rough. Gonna make it a quite rough image. I think I want to have a sort of an epic gate type thing in the middle. So there is the most important entrance. Is right here. I'm gonna try to sort of not make it a perfect looking gate, but to make it look natural. Maybe there's some sort of spiraling stuff up here, a spiraling staircase that goes to different platforms with houses like that. And stuff dangling down, and probably some cracks in the wood. So this is basically a really big crack they sort of used as an entrance. It's almost like there are big individual trunks that go up there. Which is sort of the idea that we're trying to sell here. Try to add a little bit of line weight, not too much, because I'm gonna paint this. So the line drawing will eventually go away. Just try to get enough information in so that other people maybe be able to see what's going on here. Currently, it's probably quite a challenge. I think that that one could be quite cool. Now up to the more difficult one. Well, at least I think this is gonna be for me. This is definitely gonna be the difficult one. Because it is sort of a. I probably should work with. Let's make a real basic perspective grid here. Maybe. Just as a sort of a help. This is probably the. I want this to be the center. Should do it like this. Should go something like that, I guess. Steeper. There we go. And then of course, this is rounded, so that makes it even more interesting to to make, because if you have a sort of a straight lines, it's easier to sort of sell the perspective, I guess. But this is all sort of curved, and basically they're big. It's a big bowl, so to say. So probably if I really wanted to have a good feel of how I wanted this to be, I should grab a bowl, maybe. Check that out. I'm currently rushing it a bit, and I think that's sort of the my mistake here. I'm really rushing it. Should calm down a bit and then try to do it. The thing is, the outside is sort of, this is the outside, and we want the inside to be sort of yeah. I think this could work. Maybe it goes down into a big pit. I don't know. Down to the core where the heart of the tree is. It's the wrong tool. But now it feels like it's just a bunch of random lines here. This isn't good. I showed you I think it's this one. Yeah, this painting here, or this big sketch. I kind of want to use this as a reference for it. So this is basically what I want. It probably has to be a little bit more like this, and then something like that, and maybe we it over here and then set this to multiply. It's normal, and then we can lock this layer. Let's lower the opacity a bit. Lock it. And then start working on it. Because now I could have made a perspective grid, of course, but now I basically have the same. So yeah, the thing is, I don't think we should necessarily make it perfectly round. I think that's a mistake because that also makes it quite boring, maybe. And yeah, this is sort of the forest in the distance, and then we're gonna have to, yeah, I think this is definitely gonna help. This is the forest distance here as well, so that this is the end of the landscape, and then here everything sort of drops down into the abyss, into the city. So it goes straight down here and something like that. And then it's just a matter of starting to add the housing, the detail. It's going down. Yeah, this is gonna get better. There we go. I needed that little help there. I don't think we're gonna add this area here. This is just also the drop down. Gonna add buildings here, stuff like that. And of course we're gonna use, I think I'm gonna sort of use this color scheme as well. So a lot of atmospheric fog in the thing down here. And now I sort of need to build the housing. I'm sort of torn. Is it torn? I think it's torn. Yeah, it is torn. Between sort of the mushroom cap type roofs or more Japanese style. Maybe sort of a cross between the two. Would be nice. I think this is starting to work. Somehow. So yeah, the bottom two I'm quite pleased with now. Now the top one, because I'm not pleased with that one at all. No, I don't want to save that. So we're gonna open the sketches again. The thing is, it feels too close, but that's probably sort of the way I sketched it. It is a lot further away than it currently looks like. But that's mainly due to the way that I sketched it and didn't really add that much detail to it. So yeah, it's definitely something that we probably can fix by just gonna add sort of suggestion of detail now in the sketch, and then hopefully that will way to the paint as well. But it's mainly a thing for the painting. Um, I think I should be a little bit better with the details. I should add a little bit more detail and things like that. I tend to make my sketches really rough, which means that when I start painting, I have to sort of design the entire thing still. Almost the entire thing. I have the rough sort of layout, the rough composition, but I don't really have the idea how many houses are coming here. Are there many houses or just a few? But I really want to make this an entire city, or at least a village. But yeah, probably a really a big city. So this is sprawling with houses all over the place, and some of them are sort of baked in the thing. Others are sort of created onto it. And as we saw, others are sort of hanging from the ceiling, which is kind of cool because we can make nice bridges from one to another. And I probably the most important thing I have to design is this gate, because that's sort of the main focal area, the main focal point. So yeah, we definitely want to make sure that the gate is sort of quite cool looking. And the gate is to sort of access, and maybe we can make the gate here as well, sort of as an entrance here, and then kind of want to have sort of walkways around here, and of course different stairs and stuff like that. Yeah, that's something that we probably should add here as well. Walkways, little stairs, stuff like that. But it's all quite far away, so we'll see how it ends up being. Alright, I think I'm gonna go and splash some color onto it. We've been live for almost half an hour. I kind of want to keep this stream to about an hour, just like yesterday. So we're definitely gonna take our time with this one. Let's put it to multiply, and then we can unlock that later, and we can unlock this one because we're gonna grab a brush, and currently we have it at 87%. Yeah, I think we can use this. And can start to work on these on the color. I think I'm gonna go for a fairly bright sky there. That's sort of the distance. The distance. Maybe we'll add some clouds or maybe some mountains in the background, but I'm not sure. I don't really want to get the focus away from this foresty thing. Yeah, this is definitely sort of the forest. And then we have the city here, and the people live by sort of hunting in the forest, and maybe just growing some stuff underneath the thing outside. But most of the food comes actually from the top of the thing. Sort of the idea we're trying to sell, and the people that live there are really good with plants and stuff like that. So they are vegetarian, I think. We haven't exactly established that, but I think they are. And they so they will mainly or maybe they're not totally vegetarian, but they mainly eat plant-based stuff, and they're really good with plants. So they have certain growth songs and stuff like that for the plants. So even on a relatively small surface area, they still can get a lot of food. So this is sort of to establish the color scheme that we want to work with. As you can see, I haven't sketched each individual house. I don't really like to do that. I don't have the patience for it. That's mainly the thing. And I also use the brush for sort of happy accidents. Here I'm putting down these streaks of paint and stuff like that, and some of those will transform into to housing later. Doesn't really make sense that it gets lighter down the bottom. But all right, that's that. And now we need some color on those two. I could just go to my reference images. That's something I really like to do, as you know. Well, the people that watched me is to grab pictures and use those pictures as a color scheme. Don't necessarily have to be related to the subject, although in this case it's probably just the easiest way for us is to just grab a picture of something of a forest type thingy. For instance, might be a good image. Why can I not open it? Windows did update some time ago, I guess. Go. For instance, this might be a good image to use. It's not that interesting color-wise or in terms of contrast, but it may be a good base to just throw on here and have as a base. And usually, what we do is blur it by we could go for Gaussian blur, and then we really have sort of this might actually be nice here. So we keep the colors, but we get rid of the details. So if you really zoom out, you can really still see sort of the original image. As soon as you zoom in, you lose all the detail, but you still have the colors available. So it's a good way to grab some colors from a place that you like. and use it. As you can see, this could be used as a sort of a nice inspiration for the roots down here. Although we don't have too much space, we haven't left too much space to sort of use the roots. I think I'm gonna sort of cut bottom part off. We might actually, this might be interesting to go like this, go like this, go like that. That. This, apparently there is a little part of the picture left. Now it's gone. Flip it horizontally, vertically, sorry. And then we have sort of the or whatever you want to call it in place. And then let's go with something like this. And, and of course this doesn't fit the image at all. But now I always like to play with different layer settings to see if there is excuse me, any interesting combination. Pin light, that's a little bit too strong. Probably something soft light or overlay. Overlay is probably a little bit too strong, so let's go with soft light. And then we can start grabbing some paint from over here and say, you know what, this is the sky. This is in the distance. Yes, we're still gonna have some mountains and stuff back there, but we also have blue sky, probably. Maybe. Who knows? So we have sort of established that's sort of the light there, and this actually matches up almost perfectly with where we have our entrance, the darker bit, and this really matches nicely with the roots that we already had in place, so that's really cool. Sort of fits. And this is really just really quickly throwing down some color to see if the image starts to work. Maybe a little bit too bright, the greens. But it's got to be a lot of painting done still, so I'm not sure if I want to keep this all brown, because there's probably some stuff growing down as well. But we have to figure out what it's gonna be that's growing from the tree downwards. There's the gate. I'm really not paying attention to any detail whatsoever, just throwing down the paint to have the color ready, mixing and blending until I think this is a cool color scheme I can work with. Well, the color scheme is already there, but I kind of want to clean it up a little bit so that it, if you zoom out, it doesn't really feel like a random blob of colors, which it currently does. As you can see, we have atmospheric perspective down here, so as long as we zoom out, you still can kind of see, can't really see what's going on, but a little bit. we definitely want that to be the case here as well. So we're gonna go and grab our lasso tool, and we're gonna select this area here, and then we're gonna grab the big soft brush, which is one of my favorite tools to do this. And then we're just gonna go and brighten this up a little bit, just to try and try to get some distinction between the. This is okay because we can use that. Just to, as you can see, it is standing out a lot more now. If you zoom out, see there's a big, little bit more of a difference between areas now. And we're gonna do the same here. Gonna add a little bit of lightness there and tiny bit darker. There we go. So that's an easy easy way to add some depth to your painting. Why do I feel like there is? That might be ghosting. Yeah, that's ghosting from my screen. I have a really old screen, so it has some irritating artifacts. There's this black border, and there's almost a black border here as well. You can't probably can't see it because it's not recording. It's not displaying it, but it is. How do I say that? Artifacts on my screen because it's so old. I really need a new couple of new screens, but that's for later. Yeah, I'm kind of happy with what we've got so far. I can check on my second screen the zoomed out version on OBS on the recording software, and I like what I see there. I see a really big tree trunk, and I think we can do something with that. I think I want to adjust the colors on the bottom one a little bit. I kind of want to match the colors a little bit better. So we probably should go for color balance. Add a little bit more yellow, slightly less green, maybe a little bit more reddish. Some more yellow. Something like that. Doesn't really work yet. Maybe we should go for shut and the first. I wanna tone down the blues. Saturate them a little bit, and then color balance them. So like this, maybe. You can always grab the big brush here and then like that. That helps. There we go. Now for the top one. Let's see what we want there. I want to make it a little bit misty. we're gonna paint a little bit more details later. First, we have to do the top one. But I'm really not that much of a fan of it, so that's makes it a little bit more difficult to go on with it. Strangely enough, I'm gonna use this image first, which is really strange, maybe. But it has a lot of fog, and I really like that. So we're gonna use this image, and all you have to do is to well, first you have to blur it, of course, because this is not a it is a city, but not like this. So blur, Gaussian blur. I think for this one I'm gonna make it a little bit stronger. There we go. And now we need to add some greens. This is also a nice image. Yeah, I like it. We probably don't really want the bottom part too much. There we go. Image blur, I guess. Let's not blur this one. Let's just go with some layer effects. This could be cool. It's a little bit dark. I really like this one. Gonna go with that, and then of course we have to paint a lot here. It's the big brush here, and for a quick little paint job. A little bit too dark. Let's go with some lighter green here. Top. A lot of blending in and trying stuff. It's probably quite dark underneath those things. That's probably some mountains as well. Need something as a sort of a landscape pillar. This ghosting is a really annoying. So we have sky, maybe some clouds. Some white for clouds as well. Go. To separate the two of those. More probably, but first things first. And that's getting paint by your thing. I'm gonna color pick from the other one as well. It's the same subject matter, and I think we can we have a similar color scheme, so we can easily pick the colors from here. There we go. Got a rapid bit of painting here, but especially in these early stages, I really like to keep the things really rough. So you sort of create um, a lot of detail by, or a lot of sort of suggestion of detail by having a lot of layers of different paint on top of each other, for different colors. It's not real paint, of course, but let's call it paint. That adds a lot of variety in color, which you can later use, and sometimes there's a little couple of pixels, and you think, oh, I can make that in a little house of a little character or whatever. So I find it helpful to be really rough in those early stages, and I don't really have the patience as well to sort of get in there and really careful with my brush strokes. Let's quickly sort of select this so we can actually separate the two of those from each other. So there's a smaller one here, and then there's a bigger one in the background. Maybe we're gonna do something over there as well, but I'm not sure yet. Overall, I think it probably helps that I have the top one just to sort of establish the look of the thing. But overall, I'm not really too happy with the image itself. It's not a really an exciting angle or whatever. But all right, just have to use it, I guess, because it helps to figure out how for the viewer. It helps to have the top one as a sort of a reference for the bottom two, to sort of see what is meant to be going on there. I'm gonna introduce a couple of colors from the middle one in the bottom one, just to color match them a little bit better. Currently the colors are a little bit off. It's not too big of a problem to have sort of different color schemes in different scenes, because it allows you for, it might be a different time of day, and it breaks things up, but I really want to try to give the people the feeling that they look inside the thing that is in the picture above it. So they look inside the trunk of the giant tree. So I think the color might help with that, to sort of translate that ID to the person that is viewing the image. So the viewer can see, these two belong together. And oh, that's sort of the outside, and I see a sort of a big hole here. Oh, that might be the inside. I see the similar thing to the gate that I see outside there, and then sort of your brain automatically connects the two things together. That's what we plan on doing. Still really rough, of course, as I like it currently. So today is all about the rough, really rough sketch, really rough painting, a little bit of painting, and then not sure. Probably next week on Monday, maybe this Friday, but I doubt it. I think it's gonna be next week on Monday. We will be continuing with this, and then we will yeah, really start refining the paintings and sort of make these individual buildings here. Probably want to separate this a little from the have a little bit of a atmospheric perspective here as well, because we currently don't have it. We also should combine the 3 layers later. The color layers, I mean, the paint layer. We can combine those. Currently we're on 3 different layers, but that's not necessary. In the beginning it's nice because quite rough, and then with the soft brush you're hitting the other paintings as well. I think I want some really dark colors here as well, to have some contrast. But that's also for next time. So yeah, we're almost at the hour mark. We're gonna go for a couple of more minutes. Speaking is difficult already. Um, and then we're gonna call it a day. And then I think on Monday we will be back with the continuation of these paintings. We're just gonna work on all 3 of them. We're gonna work simultaneously. I'm not gonna cut one out or whatever. We're just gonna go in, have 1 layer of paint, and then go from this one. And if we really want, we can go on the this one, and then we can switch back and forth. Just whatever we like to do at the time. So that's really neat, nice, I guess. Yeah, those are sort of hanging houses that are embedded in the trunk. There's quite a lot of work to do, and I'm actually looking forward to this one. I already I'm already really starting to like these paintings. The bottom one is probably going to be the most difficult one to pull off for me, but that's part of the challenge, and I hope I can really make it work. All right, that's it for today. Not too long of a stream, but we're gonna have to conserve our energy a little bit, so just gonna take small steps at a time, and hopefully you enjoy it. The thing about the shorter streams is my energy level is higher throughout the stream. After an hour, it sort of plummets down, and then I think the quality of the stream also goes down. So let's take an hour with a higher quality. I think that's better. All right, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you back on either Friday or Monday, but Monday has the highest chance. But maybe if I can find some time and energy, I will be back on Friday. Bye.